Thank you for contributing to the SSI Firewater Mapathon. Your support is really appreciated. Thank you so much for giving up some of your spare time to help us with this Mapathon. My name is Nathan and I'm going to be taking you through basically how the Mapathon works, how you access it, and how you actually capture the water infrastructure features. To start off with, it's all web-based. So if you go into your web browser, preferably Chrome or a modern web browser, and you type in OSM Hot Tasking Manager, this will actually take you to the first link, which will be the platform that we need to use to enter the Mapathon. Now, I'm assuming that you've already gone through the process of registering, so I won't take you through how to create your own username and password. I'm just going to take you through how to actually contribute to the projects. So once you've actually registered and you've accessed this website, task.hotosm.org, then you can see there's an option here to explore projects. Now your screen might look a little bit different to me if you've got different privileges, but it should be pretty much the same in terms of what you need to do. And you can see there's a heap of projects. It's not just the SSI projects for this Mapathon, there's a heap of COVID related projects and a lot of other initiatives that obviously you're welcome to contribute, and some fantastic projects. So the easiest way to find the specific projects for this Mapathon is to actually type in fire water. So this was a hashtag that we attached to each of these projects. And when you type that, you can see that we've got 7 different projects. So we've actually set up 7 discrete projects focusing in different areas that you can choose whichever one you like. So you can see here, there's 6 in Victoria, and there's actually 1 for Kangaroo Island in South Australia as well. So basically go through and pick the project that you want to contribute to. So I'm going to choose the first one, which is the Great Ocean Road project. Once you've clicked on the project, it'll then go into the landing page. It'll give you a bit more information about the project and allow you to start contributing. So have a read through, get comfortable with the information, and then when you're ready, press contribute to take the next step. Now when you select contribute, this will then take you to a page where you essentially select the map tile that you want to start mapping. And it's completely up to you. So you can see here there's a legend that'll indicate which ones have already been mapped, which ones are ready for validation, and which ones are completely finished. So basically you're looking for a tile that hasn't been colored up at all, which at this stage is the vast majority. So essentially zoom in, pan around, and choose a tile to start mapping. You can see here that there's a tile that's locked. For me, that's one that I'm already mapping, but you may find that others are locked because other people are working on them. So choose an open tile and then press map selected task, and away we go. Now I have chosen a particular tile that I know has the features that we need to capture. So not all tiles will have all the features. So what we're looking for here are water tanks, dams, and swimming pools. So you may find a tile that doesn't have any of them, may have one of them, may have multiple of each type. So it really depends on exactly which tile you're looking at. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to take you through the different features we're trying to create. So the first one is a water tank. So water tanks are usually situated pretty close to a building, as you can see in this example here. And they're usually 2 to 5 meter in diameter, but they do range in size. So once you've zoomed around, just use the normal sort of mouse scroll and panning tools to move around. Pretend it's basically like Google Maps. Once you've found a water tank, we then want to capture that water tank using the area tool. So if we select area, once we're in the right location, you can then see that my cursor changes and we're ready to start capturing that boundary. Now, I'll show you the quick and easy way to do it. Essentially, you digitize the water tank, not by digitizing the full circle, but just do a triangle that covers the different sides, as you can see here. And then double click on the last point. When you double click, you can see that your shape gets added and you can actually specify what the type of feature was. So on the left hand side, if you type in water tank, you can actually select that this is a water tank. So if you then select water tank, we'll then go through and have a look at the information. The key thing with the water tank is to make sure that if you go in the tag section down the bottom left here, that building is yes, content equals water, and man-made equals storage tank. Now these are the default settings, so I don't think you're gonna have to change these, but just as an indication, this is where you go to set those. So that's all great. We've actually selected the right feature. We've got the right information. We're ready to go. Phil Wyatt gave me this great tip, which is to actually then, once you've got that triangle, if you press your O key, you'll then turn that into a beautiful circle. So big shout out to Phil, thank you for that. And you can see here, you've then got a nice looking water tank, and away we go. And that's it, that's the water tank feature. First one done. Next one we're going to look at is trying to capture a swimming pool. So if I go and zoom in and try and find a swimming pool, there's a nice one there to look at. Similar to the water tank, area tool. This time we're trying to digitize the 4 boundaries. Get them as close as you can, doesn't need to be perfect. Double left click on the last point. Once you've done that, the actual feature type is called swimming pool. So type in that feature, select swimming pool, and then you can see here the information. You've got that it's a swimming pool. You've got allowed access. If you can see that it's basically a private swimming pool, just take the time to actually choose private swimming pool. That's pretty much all we need to do for swimming pool. And you can see that one there. So there we've got leisure equals swimming pool, and now access equals private. So that's fantastic. And then my corners are pretty square, but another tip is once you've actually digitized the boundary, for anything that's rectangular, it doesn't have to be 4 boundaries. It can be an odd shaped pool, but it can still be nice square boundaries. You can actually press Q, and they'll actually sharpen up those corners really well. So to give you an example, if I digitize something like that, if I press Q, it'll make it a nice square. So I'll just go through and tighten that up because I hate to see it looking like that before I lock it in. And I'll go Q and sharpen it up. And there we go, that's a swimming pool. All right, the last type of feature we're trying to create is a dam. So dams are usually irregular shapes, as you can see here. So I'm going to digitize this dam using the area tool again. And for this one, click around, try and get reasonably accurate if you can. Some dams might be empty, and we still want to capture those. So you can see here, digitizing around the boundary, double clicking on the last point. Now, key thing with dams is they're actually not called a straight dam for the feature type. You actually need to enter reservoir. Okay, that's the type that we want. So for dams, we want to enter reservoir as the preset. We want to make sure then, if we go down the tags, that it's set natural water and the water is called reservoir. If it is dry, then it basically means it's intermittent. So feel free to tick on intermittent if it's a dry dam. If it's not dry, don't worry about that. Just leave the default set as no. And that's it, away we go. So there we have the water tank, the swimming pool, and the dam. And basically go through and capture as many of those as you can. So once you've actually finished and you're ready to go, is this task completely mapped? You then go yes, and then you'll have the option to submit task, and away you go. And then you go back to the project screen and you select another tile and keep going. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully it works well for you. So good luck, and thanks again for contributing to the Mapathon.